We're living in a funny world. Some things are thought to be classy if you have a lot of money, but they're pretty trashy if you're broke as a joke. Recently, the Ask Reddit thread looked at the following question. What is considered trashy if you're poor, but classy if you're rich? The replies were both funny and ultimately revealing. Do you have any idea what we're thinking about? Well then, keep on watching till the end as we'll uncover the 15 things that are classy for the rich and trashy for the poor. But before we begin, make sure to hit the like button and join the Future Billionaires Club by subscribing to our channel and ringing the notification bell to stay up to date with our classy uploads. Getting trashed in a cabin in the middle of nowhere. Who would have thought that getting trashed would be classy for the rich? Well, it just seems like they're looking for something valuable from a chest full of trash. Having someone drive you around. Sure thing, if someone drives you in a limousine or some luxury car, it surely looks classy for the rich. On the other hand, if someone drives you around as a poor person, it almost seems normal, like in public transportation, like hire taxis, buses, and the like. If you're weird and rich, people call you eccentric. But if you're weird and poor, people call you crazy. This difference between your social statuses greatly affects how people perceive your traits and behavior. For instance, if you're a rich CEO of a company with a weird personality, or worse, literally crazy habits, the people around you might just think that you have an eccentric trait or special behavior, and it won't be difficult for them to accept you no matter what. But if you're poor and you showed even a slightest sign of being crazy, people might unfortunately treat you the wrong way. They might feel disgusted, worried, or might even despise you. In short, they can hardly accept you in their lives. Truth be told, your social status gives a great impact on how you'll be treated in society. Day drinking. Minimum wage staff cannot enjoy a drink of cold beer at lunchtime. However, the big boss man gets to enjoy mimosas at a corporate dinner, beer at a work snack, and champagne for company get-togethers. In reality, when you're rich, drinking alcohol or any other alcoholic beverage can be normal, and other people might not perceive it as a bad habit or as an addiction. On the other hand, if someone poor drinks alcohol any time of the day, other people perceive it in a bad way or consider it to be alcohol addiction. How we carry ourselves after drinking can greatly influence how you look and behave. You're classy when you're rich because you might know the limit or tolerance in alcohol, and you're trashy when you're poor when you might not possibly know the limit of your tolerance in alcoholic beverages. Having a lot of kids. Bonus points for having one named Junior. For influential families, having many kids is a blessing, but for the poor, it almost seems like a curse. The only reason is that the capability of the rich to support the financial needs of a bigger family is better than for the poor. In modern society, rich people tend to focus on having a small family, or at a maximum of 6, but for the poor families, despite of their financial struggles, can be as big as 12 members, having 10 children in the household. It can be classy for the rich due to the fact that everyone in the family can meet their needs, but trashy for the poor because of an obvious scenario of an unorganized household and lack of foods or necessities for each member of the poor household. Inbreeding. Famously done by rednecks and royalty. It might look classy when done by royalties to preserve their nobility and lineage, and was done according to the traditions and laws that were passed down in their countries or nations. But for the common households, especially the poor community, inbreeding was perceived to be immoral and indecent. Just imagine siblings marrying each other, or relatives getting married and make offspring. These things are really sensitive and really not suitable for commoners. Having a dinner table made out of a repurposed door. It's artsy and classy if the reason you're doing it is not related to financial struggles. It might look classy for the rich due to the fact that no one might suspect that the dinner table came from a repurposed door. Their visitors and relatives might only think that it was a custom design or even an antique that was worth a fortune. They would even admire the concept of the dinner table from a repurposed door. Meanwhile, if some poor household made a dinner table out of their repurposed door, not only would they be mocked by visitors, others would also think that they are too pitiful to buy a new decent one. Given this kind of situation, the classy way of repurposing things in rich households is far better in every way versus the poor community. Gambling. Have you heard about someone rich who became famous and respectable due to gambling? Well, yeah, it might be a good situation for the rich if they're inclined to gambling and hit the jackpot now and again. Besides, because of their financial status, gambling might not be a big deal for them. Win or lose, they can still handle themselves just as perfectly as if nothing happened. Unlike when someone poor engages in gambling, he might lose his sanity and suffer from addiction due to losses because the money he uses for gambling is essential for his needs. Eventually, when the poor gambler encounters continuous losses, he might end up in a miserable situation. It's certain that gambling is classy if you have lots of money, but trashy when you're poor. Having animal skins and parts in your house. It's only classy to keep stuffed dead animals when you also have a lot of money. It even costs hundreds of thousands or even millions to purchase these animal skins anyway, so it would always look classy for the rich. But on the other hand, how can a poor person afford to buy an expensive polished animal skin accessory or furniture for his living space? A poor individual might just get his own animal skin from hunting, but surely it might make the house smell and look gross and trashy. Who would want stuffed dead animal skin in their house anyway? Revealing dresses. For celebrities and affluent people walking on the red carpet, revealing dresses are classy and widely respectable in the people's eyes. But if you're wearing revealing dresses while walking on the streets of old neighborhoods or dark alleys, you're just inviting danger for sure. The setting greatly influences how you would look in that revealing dress. It might look classy for the rich because of the appropriate events they have, and trashy for the poor, due possibly to the places they live in, and could mistakenly be perceived as inviting unwanted perverts. Florida. Florida is the southeastern territory of the United States, with the Caribbean on one side and the Gulf of Mexico on the other. It's got hundreds of miles of beaches. The city of Miami is known for its Latin American cultural roots and spectacular art scene, as well as its nightlife, particularly in the trendy South Beach. Orlando is renowned for its theme parks, including Walt Disney World. Rich people might seem classy due to the fact that they can enjoy the places and activities in Florida, but might seem trashy for the poor that are settled in the same place working hard 24/7. Eating snails. It would really be nice if you're doing something in a fancy French bar. Not so good if you're scrounging tiny slugs out of the ground and sticking them in your mouth. It might look classy for the rich if they eat snails in a fancy restaurant without making a mess out of their image, but might be trashy for the poor if they just eat snails in a strange and indecent way. Living off of your parents' wealth. Well, the life of an heir and heiress is absolutely awesome and classy. They just simply have to wait for the right time and they can have their owns on their family's fortune. Unlike for the poor ones, they need to strive harder just to earn a fortune and savings for their next of kin. It might seem lazy for a poor one living off from their parents' wealth, but it's a privilege for the rich. Multiple cars on your property. A garage full of luxury cars is great, but a front yard littered with rusting junkers isn't quite the same. Imagine various luxury cars in a rich person's garage. Isn't it classy? But if you picture multiple old cars in someone's poor backyard, everything might just look trashy. And last but not least, getting financial handouts from the government. Well, getting financial help from the government is still classy for the rich, due to the fact that it also came from the taxes that they had. But it might seem like charity donation for the poor. It might seem unfair on how people differentiate the rich getting help between the poor getting help from the government. And that's how the things become classy for the rich and trashy for the poor. So future billionaires, which of these things caught you by surprise? Let us know by leaving a comment below. And because you're still here, we got some bonus info for you guys. Despite having a fortune, some billionaires are still frugal. We often think of the super wealthy as pretentious, with opulent and often frivolous lives. In reality, many billionaires are clever entrepreneurs who are extremely frugal and are directly responsible for their expenditures. For instance, Google's co-founder Sergey Brin is still shopping at Costco, while Mark Zuckerberg drives the Volkswagen GTI. That's right, Facebook's creator and CEO, who is reported to be worth $33 billion, drives a $30,000 car. Thanks for watching, Future Billionaire. Enjoyed what you saw? Deposit a like, and be sure to join the Future Billionaires Club by hitting subscribe and ringing the notification bell to keep up to date with our entertaining uploads. And check out these other amazing videos we've selected for you next.